Good morning everyone. Welcome to Monday. I'm gonna be combining cottage cheese with some plain yogurt. Now, the funny thing that I realized about cottage cheese and yogurt, because I know that a lot of people don't like the texture of cottage cheese, and honestly, who can be bothered with like blending it and stuff like that? If you look at the calorie to protein ratio, per 100 grams, we have 87 calories and 11.9 grams of protein, which is pretty solid. And then with this yogurt, my husband's making coffee. Per 100 grams, we have 60 calories and 9.4 grams of protein. And so if you actually compare the calorie to protein ratio, they're pretty much on par. And I think instead of comparing gram to protein ratio, you should be comparing calorie to protein ratios instead. So if you really don't like cottage cheese, get a natural high protein yogurt with no added sugars or anything like that. We are just gonna melt a little bit of butter. And we're actually using these white beans. You wanna make sure that you drain and rinse them first. A little bit of just crushed tomatoes. Probably just like a quarter of a can, not too much. And to this, I'm just gonna add in a bunch of sad looking basil that I completely forgot about. I actually have this ground beef that I made the night before. It just literally has paprika, garlic, salt, some more of the tomato paste, I'm pretty sure. I did add a touch of this sugar-free maple syrup to the mince last night, and so it'll have that nice little slight touch of sweetness. But I'm adding in the mince just to boost up the protein a little bit, because these beans, even though they are good for protein, they're not enough protein for what I would like, and also the mince just adds a little bit more flavor. Okay, so I have this really nice seeded focaccia. Gosh, there's seeds getting everywhere. Look at that. So I think my husband and I are just gonna share this bit right here. So I'm just gonna cut it in half. Look at that. Doesn't that look stunning? Just so nice and fluffy. Alrighty, it's time to assemble the bowls. Just gonna get our dairy in order. So we're gonna start off with a big fat spoon of the yogurt. You definitely don't have to mix it. You could just use one or the other. Okay, now to these, I'm just gonna add a little touch of lemon juice. Just a little balsamic glaze. A bunch of black pepper. What I have left of this, it's just like Italian mixed dried herbs. I am actually kind of making this up at this point in time. As you can see, I have probably one more serving left in that pan, and this is what we're working with right now. All right, as always, I like to have like a bit of a tangy sour component with these kind of bowls, because it's a lot of dairy, it's a lot of creamy, it's a lot of savory. So I picked up one of my favorites, which is this jar of pickled onions. I'm just gonna do a few. That just adds so much flavor. Now we can add our focaccia, and boom, look at that. That looks so good. All right, everyone, we have just finished our cycle workout. It is only 11 o'clock right now, and so I think I'm just gonna have a quick little snack. gonna make my protein matcha that I made in my last video. Let me take you along the journey. Some ice. So I'm going to add some of my sugar-free maple syrup. The matcha goes in. Some oat milk. Gonna whisk up some oat milk and this pistachio protein powder. So I'm just gonna use probably like half a scoop. My little whisk. Whisk her up real good. You wanna make sure that it's like super frothy. All right, that should do it. Just gonna add that on top. Absolutely stunning. Magnifico. So I'm gonna sip on that. I have me a big bowl of fruit here that I'm gonna share with my husband because I'm nice like that. And I'll catch you guys at lunch. Okay, it is now time for lunch. And I actually picked up a bag of chicken tenders, which, you know, isn't classified as the most healthiest thing ever, but when you eat it quite sparingly and you combine it with lots and lots of veggies and fiber and stuff like that, look, at the end of the day, it's really not that bad. And honestly, sometimes when you just really can't be bothered, it is fantastic. For 2 pieces, it's 14 grams at 178 calories. I might actually do 4 pieces. Okay, I've got some leftover roasted veg. This is just a mixture of pumpkin, carrots, and cherry tomatoes. So I'm just gonna pop them onto one plate and microwave it. I'm just gonna prep a really, really easy cause lettuce salad. I'm gonna wash up all of these. Just gonna chop it up super finely. And now to here, I'm just gonna add in a little bit of salt, bunch of lemon juice, black pepper, just a bit of this Peronaise because I actually ran out of olive oil. Otherwise, I would have just done a very, very easy olive oil and mixed dried herbs, but this will have to do just a little bit. Pop the lid on, give it a really, really, really good shake. And voila! It's dinner time and I am going to kind of make up this little steak dinner situation. We were in the shops and my husband was like, ooh, I would like some steak. I am just peeling my mushrooms here because I'm gonna do just a big old bunch of pan roasted mushrooms just because I can't be bothered baking them. And I don't wash my mushrooms because when you do and there's liquid in it, it doesn't actually end up releasing any of the juices. Just doing a little bit of butter. Pop our mushrooms in, turn the heat down just slightly. A little bit of salt. Got this very, very sad looking cucumber that I have to use up. Alrighty, so as you can see, hair has been washed. I've got myself a cup of tea. It's just like herbal something. And I've also got half a bag left over of this popcorn. And so I'm gonna share that with my husband right now because it's movie night. And then we're also gonna share this bag of sugar-free lollies. So yeah. Okay, so I have a tiny bit of this leftover pasta. It was like a chicken vodka sauce. So I think I'm just gonna do a random mishmash of things. I'm gonna add in the rest of our beans and bolognese from breakfast yesterday. Actually, in that container, I'm just gonna put in all my leftover cause lettuce salad, and I want to keep it separate so I can microwave this but keep this nice and fresh. Alright, fabulous. Alright, this is my little stash of the organic fruit that we get delivered to the offices. Hee hee. So, which I'm sharing with my friend here. You can see her elbow. I managed to snag a little fig because fresh figs are my favorite when they are ripe, but when they're not ripe, they're the chalkiest, most disgusting thing ever. Alright, hello everyone. We are back home for dinner. My husband just cooked up some turkey mince in this pan right here because tonight we're gonna have some tacos. So I think what I'm gonna do is just make a really easy salsa that will come together in seconds. So I'm gonna start off with some of the pickled onions. So let's just pop some of those in to this here bowl. I've got some leftover pineapple chunks. We had a pizza night the other night, and let me know if you are team pineapple on pizza or not. I definitely am. Apologies for the rumbling noise, by the way. The dryer's just going on. Got my little squares from my avocado. Just gonna squeeze that all in to the salsa. All right, now in terms of seasoning, we definitely want some black pepper, a little bit of salt, some lime juice. Honestly, I think that is gonna be it in terms of the seasoning. Okay, a nice little tangy and crunchy salsa. I'm gonna take some cause lettuce and actually use that in place of just a few of the tortillas. We are in a calorie deficit and a lot of calories come from carbs. We're not trying to cut out carbs completely, we're just trying to reduce our overall carb intake. Now into this pan, we're gonna heat up 2 tortillas. If you're not heating up your tortillas, you are doing something wrong. Trust me, it elevates it to a whole nother level. Now onto these tortillas, I'm actually going to put a little bit of cheese. So just gonna lay down some of that mince. Well, look at that melty cheese. How amazing is that? Whew, that's hot. Honestly, if you wanted to just like disassemble it and chop up all the cause lettuce and make almost like a taco bowl situation, you could totally do that as well. That would be incroyable. Top it with the salsa. I like having a lot of color in my food.
It makes it a lot more appetizing. And then finally, we're topping it with some of that Nando's Peronaise. And voila, a nice little trio of tacos. Okay, so I'm actually starting off with the lettuce cup because I like to save the tortilla one for last. You like it? Okay, so in this little bowl, I'm just adding some of this protein banana bread that I made the other day. And I'm not gonna share the recipe because I'm still kind of workshopping it. Actually, you know what? I might get a bigger bowl, TBH. All right, now I'm just gonna add a little bit of yogurt and then just a tiny little bit of peanut butter. And voila, it is absolutely hideous. But it tastes amazing. Okay, so I have only actually just realized that this is the exact same top that I'm wearing from Monday. Just me casually being an outfit repeater in my own video, but technically it is not the same outfit. How embarrassing. I know that you guys have probably seen this all over the internet, and I have just kind of wanted to recreate it for quite some time now. It is that like viral date dessert thingy where you take a bunch of medjool dates, squish them down, top them with like peanut butter and dark chocolate and whatever other kind of things. So genuinely not really a calorie deficit friendly kind of dessert. So we are going to be kind of cutting down on the calories lightly. I do have a bunch of dates that I haven't actually touched. And so I'm just going to pit up all my dates right now. Anyways, basically you want to pit your dates and then lie them upside down. I'm going to flatten this out. We have our little sheet of dates here. So I'm gonna take some yogurt and some of that pistachio protein powder into here. I'm gonna just use up a whole scoop of protein. Onto this, I'm going to lay out my yogurt. I've got a bunch of dark chocolate that I'm going to melt up. Okay, so now essentially I'm just going to pop that into the freezer. Okay, so my husband actually brought back home a little Portuguese tart for me, but I'll share it with him. I'm going to have half of this. Wednesdays are a very, very long day for us. And so, you know what? Just going to have a little midweek treat to get us through, and that'll be dessert. Okay, we have just completed our workout for the day, and I kind of wanted like a, oh god, excuse the hair. I kind of wanted a post-workout snack, and so little date dessert thingy yesterday has been freezing overnight. So I am going to cut into it and give it a little taste. I'm super excited. Oh, okay, there we go. All right. Ready, the moment of truth. It is good. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if I need to kind of let it sort of defrost before I bite into it. It is very, very, very frozen. It's very sweet because of the dates, obviously. And I like the dark chocolate. Kind of cuts through that a little bit. I don't know. I would probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. All right, my friends, so I love nothing better than popping down to the shops and seeing what's on special. Is anyone else with me? Like, genuinely, I love wandering around the aisles of the supermarket, like Woolies, Coles. I just love seeing what's new, what they have to offer. If you are like me and you're one of those people, then please drop me a little shopping bag emoji down in the comments, because we could be friends, all right? We could be friends. 'Twas my weekly wandering just now when I just so happened upon this little guy right here. I am going to be doing like a healthy, lightened version of pad thai. I checked out the macros on the back and it's not bad. It's only 54 calories per serving and there's 4 servings in here. So not traditional with pad thai, but I really wanted some red meat. So I picked up some extra lean steak. So I have maybe like 2/3 of that bag of dark chocolate still left. So I am actually gonna heat this up because I picked up some raspberries, and so I'm thinking maybe like a little chocolate dipped raspberry situation for dessert. You know what's up. this looks like a kimono when I wear it like this. So the chocolate has set, and this is ready for consumption. I am so excited. So I'm just gonna break off a little piece right here. This has like the most minimal amount of chocolate ever on it, but whatever. I'm gonna share this whole thing with my husband. And that is a wrap on Thursday. Okay, we have just finished our workout. I've showered already. I've gotten ready for work because today is office day. I am just sipping on a little protein shake because I was feeling a little bit peckish after my workout. I don't really have much in the way of lunch, but I do want to be able to come to the office at least somewhat prepared, somewhat organized. And so I'm just gonna bring my little bottle of balsamic glaze because there is this salad recipe that I want to show you guys that has been saving my life lately, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. It takes like 2 seconds to put together. Normally I would put like some kind of crouton with it, but today I'm just gonna pack myself a little piece of my high protein seeded bread. This is what I will be taking to the office for my lunch. And it'll all come together, I promise, all right? You just gotta trust me in this. Anyways, I'll see you in the office. Alright guys, for dinner that night, I just kind of felt like a really quick and easy green curry with some chicken. So we're starting off with a base of tomatoes. I'm just using up the rest of those cherry tomatoes from lunch. In goes the green curry paste. We're just going to fry that off until it becomes a little bit fragrant, and just 1/4 can of crushed tomatoes. And then you just add in the chicken. I'm just using chicken breast for this, and then you just want to cook that up, and I am adding in my favorite ingredient, which is baby corn. And this may look like a lot of spinach and kale, but trust me, it wilts down into nothing. And now I'm just gonna make a little cornstarch slurry with some light coconut milk, and then you just kind of want to pour that in and wait for it to bubble and thicken. And trust me guys, this is just such a nice, easy, comforting, lightened curry for middle of the week kind of vibe. I have been saving this. Kind of indulging in a little teeny weeny dessert like this is part of my 80-20 rule. It is Friday night, y'all. We are gonna wild out and have some tiramisu on the couch watching Netflix because that is life right now. Yeah. By the way, I will be sharing this with my husband. Alright guys, we are just out to lunch right now because this is Mel. We actually have an event on today that we just finished setting up for, and we got ourselves, what's it called? Crudo. The Crudo. Salmon sashimi, lime, spicy wasabi, all the good stuff, you know? Look at that. Amazing. Good morning guys. It is daylight savings today, and so the sun is a lot brighter than it normally is at this time of the morning, and I'm just chowing down on another piece of that date dessert thingy that I made. It is growing on me, I'm not gonna lie. I've discovered that the best way to have it is when you kind of defrost it a little bit for like 5 minutes. Done my morning workout, and I've just been spending time on the walking pad, getting some work done. It's still quite early in the morning, but it literally looks like it's midday. I'll see you guys for lunch. Okay, so my husband brought home some pizza, which I am so excited about. Is it sourdough? I think the base might be sourdough, but I may be wrong. Anyways, because this is not super dense nutrition, I'm just gonna make a little salad with these ingredients right here. Hello. We are back home from church. I apologize for the quality of the video for dinner because I forgot my camera at home, so I was filming on my phone. Dinner, as you saw, was quite small. So it was just some of those veggies with the chicken, a little bit of sauce. I am gonna basically just prepare a very small little snack, I guess you could say, like dinner part 2, because I am going for a run tomorrow and I don't want to wake up feeling weak and just like depleted, you know? Just gonna have a little bit of yogurt. Maybe like 2 scoops, I would say, yeah. And here's the thing, I am not actually that opposed to having something like cereal and stuff like that, as long as you have it in moderation. This is Nutri-Grain. I feel like it's slightly better than just like cornflakes or something. It is fortified with iron and minerals, and it's got a little bit of protein. So just having a little bit of that.
And I know it's a bit odd and unusual to put grapes with it, but I don't have any banana or strawberries or any kind of berries. So grapes, it has to be. You definitely don't want to go too crazy with peanut butter when you're on a calorie deficit because it does actually contain quite a lot of calories. So just a tiny little bit right there just to satisfy. And I've actually got this little, I have no idea how to pronounce that. It's got lots of good bacteria, 50 billion apparently. And so I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. Anyways, guys, I am going to chow down on that. Thank you so much for tuning in to another week, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio, my friends.